Okay, so we have before us 11 ACT questions, all involving geometric premises. So this first one, a hotel chain has decided to install a rectangular pool in each of its newest locations. So it says each pool must have a top surface area of 150 square meters and a perimeter of 62 meters. So it wants the dimension of the pool in meters. Well, area is length times width, and perimeter is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. Draw a picture if you need to. It says that the area has to be 150. So we start with the first one. We're just going to plug and chug through this. This is supposed to be 150 meters. This is supposed to be 62. So 5 times 30. 5 times 30 is 150, but 2 times 5 is 10. This is 60. 2 times 30 is 60. So that makes 70. So that is not the correct answer. So 6 times 25 is 150. 6 times 2 is 12. 2 times 25 is 50. 12 plus 50 is 62. So B is my correct answer. It helps if you know how to find the area and how to find the perimeter. On the next one, we have one side of a triangle is 19 millimeters, the other is 12. What's the following possible length for the third side? Well, you may or may not remember the triangle inequality theorem. It says that if you add two of them together, they have to be, the sum of the two numbers has to be greater than the longest side. So let's say, so we have 12 and 19 and some other measurement. So we add 12 plus 19, that equals 31, okay? So these two added together have to be greater, have to be greater than 31. So that cannot be a possible answer. And so it might be 33 or 45, but if we look at it this way, 33 minus 19, um, so anything greater than 31 is not a possible answer because these two added together have to be greater than this. So that marks off these two. Well, if we go 19 minus 12, we get 7. So this length has to be greater than 7. 7 is not an answer. That makes G our answer. Okay, so it says down here that these are perpendicular. AB is perpendicular to CD. It means we have a right angle here. And then it goes through all this other madness. It says CXZ, draw this right here. This is 28 degrees. And so it wants to know ZXB. It wants to know this measurement. This is 90, and 90 minus 28 is 62. Okay, this is going to be 90 minus 28, and that equals 62. So that answer, 90 minus 62, and I'm running out of camera space here, sorry. There we go. So 90 minus 28 is 62 degrees. That answer is B. All of them have been the second answers so far. That's kind of funny. Okay, so number 22 up here. Points Y and Z lie on the circle below. So this is a radius and this is a radius. So these two are the same length. We have an isosceles triangle. You should know that on an isosceles triangle, this angle and this angle are the same. Well, hopefully most of you know that the sum of three angles of every triangle equal 180. So if we add all these together, we get 180 degrees. So to find either one of these is we take 180 minus 95 and divide that by 2, because this will equal, the difference between these two will be this one plus this one added together. Divide by 2 to get the singular value, and that answer is H, 42.5 degrees. Use your calculator and you can find that answer. One side of a triangle is 10, another side is 34. What's the possible length? Oh, it's just like this other problem. So we're going to go 34 minus 10 is 24. So it has to be greater than 24. So it's none of those. And then we're going to go 34 plus 10 is 44. So that number has to be less than 44. And so it can't be 45. So that answer is D, 30. Okay, here we go again. Angles. This plus this has to equal 180 degrees. These two added together, this is a line. These are called supplementary angles. They have to equal 180 degrees. So we add them to get 180. Now, it wants the positive difference between the degree measurements. So in other words, I got to find Z, and then we're going to subtract these two to see what the difference is. So I'm going to have Z minus 3 plus 3Z minus 1 equals 180. Combine your like terms. 4Z minus 4 equals 180. Add 4 to both sides. 4Z equals 184. Divide 184 by 4. Z equals 46. Okay, so then we plug in our numbers. We plug this in. 46 minus 3 makes this angle 43 degrees. All righty. Then we take, I go 180 minus 43. Then I go this angle is 180 minus 43. So that makes this angle 137 degrees. Now again, find the positive difference between the angle measurements. So I then go 137 minus 43, and that measurement is 94 degrees. Okay, let's go to the next problem. Number 25. Here we go again. I've got an inscribed triangle. There's my radius. That's a radius, that's a radius. It's an isosceles triangle. So if this is 70 degrees, then this is 70 degrees. This plus this is 140. 140 taken from 80 means this angle is 40 degrees. Okay, now it's number 26. What percent of the sum of the interior angles of ABC does angle ABC, the big angle right here, what does it represent? Okay, percent of the sum. So sum means we're going to add. This is 30 because it's isosceles. That's 60. That makes this 120 degrees because this plus this plus this is 180. So what percent is this of 180? So we go 120 divided by 180. That equals 0.66666, and which one has 66 and numbers behind it? That is F. Okay, number 27. It asks, what is the degree measure of the smallest interior angle from above? Okay, so we're trying to find the measure of this angle. It's the smallest. But to do that, we got to find X. To find X, we got to add these together and set them equal to 180. Okay, so we're going to add all these together and set them equal to 180. So that's going to be X plus 2 plus 4X plus 16 plus 2X plus 15. X plus 4X plus 2X makes 7X. 2 plus 16 is 18 plus 15 makes 33. And that equals 180. So I subtract 180. Subtract 33. I get 7X equals 147. X equals 7 divides into this 21 times. 21 plus 2 is 23. So that answer is 23 degrees. All right, the next one. I think most of you will like the next one because it's proportions. Most of you can do this. Okay, so along its eastern border, this triangular park is 500 meters long. Southern border is 200 meters long. They're going to do a scale model of it. The southern border, southern is 5 feet. So 200 meters is to 5 feet what 500 meters is to X feet as opposed to X men. Most of you know to cross multiply. 2,500. 5 times 5 is 25 plus the 2 zeros equals 200X. Divide both sides by 200, and X is 12.5 feet. So that answer is J. Okay, now in our last problem, This may be the easiest of all of them for most of you, I think. Cable of unknown length stretches from here to here. This is X. The pole is 12 feet. It's 9 feet from it. Want to know the length of the cable. We're trying to find this. It's a right triangle. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. This is my hypotenuse. So 9 squared plus 12 squared equals X squared. That's 81 plus 144. If you square those numbers, that equals 225. When I add those, find the sum of those two, find the square root of both sides, that has to be 15. Okay, if you have any other questions about these, please feel free to ask me or Miss Stewart, and I hope you have a good day.